police clearance, and then you send them. Okay, recording in progress. Yeah, I was saying you must have your degree, says certificate, passport, police clearance, and then you send them an email telling them that you are interested in teaching abroad, and then they will respond to your email. They will schedule you for an online interview. After the interview, and then you will do your medical checkup, and then they will give you a visa, and then you take it to Pretoria. That's where you're gonna get your visa. So to come to Taiwan, you don't need your TEFL certificate. You don't need to authenticate your degree and everything. But looking at a growing demand of people who are coming to or who are willing to come to teach abroad, so it will be beneficial if you or it will give you like it will put you in a greater spot if you have a TEFL certificate. But if you have a degree in Bachelor of Education, you don't need it. You don't need a TEFL certificate. So after I did that, you must have your flight. You book your own flight from South Africa to Taiwan, but they will reimburse you that amount when you get to Taiwan. Um, Taiwan is it's a small island not far from China. It's very nice. People here, they are calm and collected. The crime rate is zero. Um, and then here we only got like 2 seasons. It's summer, if not summer, it's winter. And then coming here, what was challenging for me was the food. At first, I didn't like the food. The food was bad, but then you get to adapt to it, and then obviously like when you are abroad, like you should know that. So if you want come with your loved ones, and they have a special visa that if you have a partner that you wanna come abroad with, they do allow such. And when you come with your partner abroad, they pay you more. I don't know how, but they pay you more. And then obviously when I get to Taiwan, the language was a problem. Uh, but then the Mandarin is very difficult to understand. But then here and there, you learn from the student as you go along. And then in terms of teaching here in Taiwan, you get like exposure to use different like teaching resources like your smartboard, your whiteboard, and then sometimes you conduct classes online. What I like about teaching here in Taiwan, I don't do marking. I don't do class. I don't give classwork. I don't give homeworks. I don't do tests. Basically, I'm more or less like a lecturer. I go to class. I teach. I don't do classroom management because whenever you go to a class, you will be accompanied by a person which is called the co-teacher. So basically, the co-teacher, what he or he does, he makes sure that he controls the classroom for you, and then he or she translates here and there because you only speak English, and then the kids sometimes they don't understand English. And then here there is no accountability. I don't account to anyone. That's basically what I love about teaching here in Taiwan. And the salary is good. It's good. It's more or less like double what I was getting paid in South Africa. I don't want to belong. That's all I can share for now. Yeah, maybe the rest will be covered in the questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Musa. There was someone in the office, guys. Sorry, you can see I'm talking to someone else. Thank you guys so far for sharing with us. I think maybe before we end, just maybe talk to the first question on how you guys applied. I think that's what most people would want to hear, probably. and maybe give us the details of the agents that you guys used, or the other ones that you have, or the websites that we can visit, so that people can know where to go about with the how to go about with applying to other provinces or abroad. Nompilo, you can share with us. Zanele, may you please mute yourself?
Okay, hello. Hi everyone. I'm Numpilo Vilagazi and I'm based in South Korea. I'm from Pinetown, in a small area called Hatson's Estate, and currently I'm teaching here in South Korea. This is my second year now in South Korea. So how did I get here? So I'm just gonna try and do it the way Debs has said. For me, I use an agent called DXT. So they're called DXT Employ. That's the agent that helped me to come to South Korea. At that time, I was unemployed, so I wasn't working. And my parents were just skeptical about this abroad thing. As you know, uThakazali, like iy'ngane ziyantshontsha and stuff like that. So my parents were not so much into it. So that's why I decided to use an agent. So basically what I did, I paid for my own documents, but it was the agent that did the running around, sending the documents to the different places. And my agent also offered to pay for my flights and get me a job, but I wouldn't advise with DXT now that I'm here, because like you don't need to like pay malinkulu, but for somebody obviously who doesn't have like flight money and all of that, it is advisable, but you can try and use them. So that's what I used, DXT Employ. I'm gonna leave their number if anyone wants to use them. So yeah, that's how I got here. So if you want to come to South Korea, basically you need your passport, you need your degree. Obviously you need your SACA, which is where they verify the degree. Ukuthi, yeah, it's authentic and stuff like that. And then you need your police clearance certificate. So degree, police clearance certificates, SACA, you take those to DERCO. And then, yeah, that's the process of getting here. So why did I come to Korea? To be quite honest, the reason why I came to Korea, it was because of the unemployment in South Africa. As you can see, it's like the biggest pandemic right now. Like I didn't have a job and I graduated in 2019. So I stayed at home for about 3 years up until I decided that no, like I don't want to stay at home anymore and just, be dependent on my parents. So I wanted something of my own. And it would have been a great opportunity for me to just see what's out there and how other people live and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to do, which is why I moved here in Korea. Just a bit of experience yami, I would say I love it here. Ngiyathanda Korea, like the people here, they're kind. Maybe you might encounter just one case, but it's actually rare of racism. But here, Abantu, they're very kind. I don't want to lie. I've enjoyed the 1 year and the few months that I've been in South Korea, and usually in my classes, I have about ingane, sometimes 3 in a classroom, sometimes 5, sometimes it's 7. The largest number of kids that I teach at classini is actually 9. I don't have kids is idlula u9 in a classroom. And I teach different age groups. So in the morning, I teach abantwana abancane, which is like 5 to 7 years. So that's the grouping ifundisayo. So it's almost like the same thing as Butiloga Tekuluma. For those kids, I do have somebody who's called a co-teacher. So her job is just to translate it from understanding and to make sure they are listening in the classroom. For me, I do marking, but it's not marking a hectic. It doesn't even take you 30 minutes if kukade kune-test. So it's just easy like that. And let's see. Okay, how is that? Okay, I'm forgetting your questions, Debs. Let's see. Okay, how has that improved my skills? I think ukufundisa le is a career. It has helped me with my technology skills. Back home, most of the things that I use in most schools is usually like just the body and the chalk and stuff like that. So here, I got the opportunity to be exposed to a lot of technology, just like my smart boards, the usage of phones in the classroom, access to the internet. So it just gave me an opportunity to use different kinds of materials in the classroom to advance my teaching. I'd also say working abroad has also improved my proficiency in English, because English now becomes the language that you speak most of the time, and you are surrounded by other native speakers from different countries. So your vocabulary, iqine as well as your English, it improves from what it was. So for me, I would say it has benefited me in that sense as an educator. Yeah, so I'll just stop there for now. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Nompilo. Guys, thank you so much for sharing with us. There's a question in the chat. Is that a question as such? The person is asking for you guys at least to give us a guideline on how did you go about applying to a school where you are, or maybe you can give us the website to visit, or you can give us the email, or like Nompilo said, do you said it's DXT, right? DXT employed.
Yes, DXT employed. I can give you the number, but I, I do not recommend them now that I'm here. And that's because they are an agency. So they're not the agency that just does your documents, but by agency, ekufunela nomsebenzi. They go as far as loaning you imali flight. So it made sense for me at that time because abazali bami, they didn't want to, do this abroad thing. So I needed their assistant. But Korea, kukhona people who are called recruiters.
Okay.
So I think I can also just give out details for recruiters. But in order for umuntu to contact recruiter ukuthi imfunele umsebenzi, you need to have an app called Kakao Talk. So you download an app called Kakao Talk.
Ngicela Nompilo usibhalele yona on the chat section so that the people can be able to get the spelling right and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. There's a question for you, Kaye, in the comment section. Have you ever encountered instances of racism or cultural insensitivity while you are teaching in China? And what are the broader maybe challenges in the classroom?
Personally, I have not encountered any racism. I think because in Shanghai, there's quite a significant number of foreign teachers. I think it's something that they are used to. I think in my area, it's more of just people look at you weird. Understandably, you black and they Chinese. So at first, it's going to be weird. They're going to take pictures of you. They're going to take videos. You're going to try sit in the metro. They're going to stand up and leave. Besides that, I've never experienced like where I feel like people are racist towards me. It's just maybe just them being not used to. In the classroom per se, we do not teach with our co-teachers. There's somebody, we also have like TA, which are like teacher assistants, right? So they basically help us with translating, they help us with classroom management and with assigning projects, with assigning homework, and they again do the marking for us. So it's nothing major.
Thank you, Kai. I had a question for you. When do you start teaching? After, let's say you get to China or you get to Korea or you get to Taiwan, even in the other provinces, do you go straight to class or you have to adapt first for some months to understand the language, or how does it work?
I'll go quickly.
Okay.
Firstly, you have to observe how the classroom is conducted, how you teach the kids, because obviously things are different from South Africa and China. After you observe for a couple of weeks, then you do co-teaching. That means that you are teaching with a local teacher, and then they'll observe how you teaching, and after they feel like they're comfortable with how you teach and you follow how their teaching methods are conducted, then they give you your own classes.
Okay, on my side in South Korea, usually what they do, it's almost similar to what they do for Kailife. You go there, you observe, and then you're also given an opportunity where they observe you. But in my school, in my case, it was a different situation because I was the first South African they've hired in the school. So they were skeptical, what's okay, now that we are allowing South Africans to our school. So my training took a bit longer, but I have a friend from South Africa who's at my school now, and her training was just 1 month, 1 week. So 1 week, and then they observed her, and then straight into teaching.
Okay. Andile and Ogutle, also you guys,
Miss, miss, yes, miss. We can't hear you, miss.
Thank you, Kai. Okay, but on my side, like when I got here in Taiwan, it was during the time of COVID. So I went to quarantine for like 10 days. And then after 10 days of quarantine, then I went straight to school. And then we discussed the contract. And then like they let you know what is expected of you. And then from there, straight to class.
okay. Ogutle, you said when they gave
That's it.
you, they gave you a run around because you're not from Rustenburg. You're supposed to teach grade 12, but they gave you another class.
Yeah, they gave me a grade 11 class until another school stole me.
Or you started in another school and then went to the other one, okay?
Yes, I started at another school, but for me, it was simple. I just got, what's this? An advertisement within a WhatsApp group. I took that and I applied. That's it.
Okay. Andile?
In Gauteng, it's pretty much the same. There's no like they just take you to class because they assume that you know everything since you're in South Africa. But since I spoke about online teaching as well, for online teaching, it's different. Before you can start actually teaching and making money from teaching, there are demonstrations, there are demo lessons. You'll have like 3 to 5 demo lessons where they're giving you students and demonstrating how you'll go about teaching. So about 5 lessons, sometimes even more, if they can see that you're having certain challenges because you must be familiar with certain things, pronunciation of words and all. So there will be that period where we'll have to do demonstrations. It's like an orientation period. And then from there, they'll take you to class and you'll go to teach without anyone assessing or looking at how you're conducting your lessons.
Okay. Another question here.
Okay.
I wish to know if I have a TFL certificate from teacher records, can I use it when I apply? Do you guys have a response to that question?
On my side, I would say I've heard of somebody who has used teacher records, but recently I've heard most agents saying like teacher record, it's not accredited. So it's always best to go for the TEFL that you pay for, because the teacher record is free So anyone just does it. So I think it's always best to go for the one oikokelayo. And currently I am doing one with TOEFL Universal, and I paid about 200 and something, so it's very cheap.
200 rands.
Yeah, it's 200 and something in rands.
Okay.
Yeah, Nompilo is absolutely correct. And I'm in one of the groups now teaching China. I go to they no longer taking a teacher record for some reason. So I mean I was fortunate in cutting in Gange so I actually had just teacher record and they accepted me. But now I think that they're changing policy. So it would be advisable to tell the one where you actually pay for.
Okay, thanks, guys. Guys, it's open for us to ask the questions that we want to ask. You can unmute yourself and then you ask them a question.
Okay, guys, before you ask questions,
Okay.
I would share like websites where I applied from, but unfortunately they're no longer taking South Africans. But as Unompilo said, they are agents. The only thing you need to have WeChat. WeChat, that's like the main social media they use in China. So if you have WeChat, also now WeChat, and then I'll forward you a couple recruiters there.
Oh, also, may I also please add just one more thing after Kaye? I think it's very important that we say this, and I didn't say it. So in Korea, there are different types of schools, of which I believe it's the same thing in China. It's just that I didn't hear us mention that. So we have schools that are public schools, and we have schools, my private schools. So like me, I work at an academy, which is said to be a private school. But abanye abantu, they apply through EPIC. So if you are going for the route, yeah, public school, you don't need recruiters. You just go to EPIC, EPIC something. If you just type into EPIC, you'll find the website here, then you can apply to the public schools. But if you're coming to our schools, then you need the recruiters. With Epic, guys, it's easy. Holidays was a pomola. With our schools, it's a bit tricky. It's business, so academy, yes, ngisi, so it's work most of the time. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Anything from Rustenburg and Gauteng before questions or Taiwan?
Oh,
I think
Buddha.
I've said everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys can go.
Just to add here, I'm working in a public school, but then if you are a kind of person who's like a workaholic, there are also schools which are called cram school. It's like those night classes, and then you can earn like serious cash. Like if you are like a serious person who's chasing the bag, like
What is the meaning?
you're here for money.
How much is serious cash? We need to know.
Like night school, they pay like I would say like anything from 15,000 in rents to 20,000,
Rands.
excluding the basic, excluding the basic salary that you get from your public school. But then some other school, they don't allow you to work at a cram school, but you need to be skeptical. Maybe you are in a different city, then you apply for a cram school in another city, then yeah, in that case you can be able to earn more cash.
Guys,
But if you are a workaholic person,
one last one before I shut up forever. If you if you want money, guys, if you want money, China International Schools. China International Schools, China Kindergarten. Guys, there you get 70,000 rands. 70,000 rands.
Me holding my head.
Like, I swear to God, that's like 3, 4 times the money you're earning in South Africa. So Lapo, you'd be getting 45,000 RMBs. RMBs, we times them clamping out 2.5. Ukuze uthola amarandi. So 45, let's say 45,000 times 2.
Yeah, well, hey,
That's like 90,000.
smiling, yo.
Yeah. So yeah, that's by the way.
No, plug us in, man.
Baggy.
Get WeChat,
Yeah,
get WeChat. I'll send you the recruiters. You
And
want
guys,
international
like,
teachers.
if you're moving abroad, like, do a proper research of that particular country that you are going into. Because, like, recently here, there was a case here. A South African guy was chowing and married a woman, and then that is a crime here. It's a crime, and then he got himself deported back to South Africa. So do a proper research before you move to that particular country.
yeah, they want to. I
So
don't.
that's why I was advising that if you're coming abroad, just come with your loved one. Then you'll be on the safer side.
Yeah, I hope they won't do that. Once you guys give us the information on how we apply, I don't think they will do those things and be deported. Andile Obuhle, last words. We have 8 minutes. I will relook again, guys, for questions from the floor.
Nothing from my side except for questions to my colleagues about.
Okay. Yeah, you can ask the question, Anila.
Just questions, 2 questions.
I've got nothing. I think I've said everything.
Yeah, Anila, you can ask the question.
Shoot your
Okay.
shoot.
Can they tell us more about the cost of living in China or in Asia, so to say? Because we know that in South Africa, the reason why some of us are having more than one job is because of cost of living. Can they tell us more about the cost of living? How is it affordable to live that side through the salary of a teacher? How is it? How are they coping? Are they able to do other things on the side, like business? Are they able to save money for when they decide to come back to South Africa, probably to do other things? And also, is housing provided when they go to China or where they go to Japan or anywhere? Are they immediately given housing, or they have to go and look for houses themselves where they're going to stay for their period of teaching? Those questions for now. Thank you.
I'll
Okay, let me
start.
go first.
Okay. Okay. All right, let me go. For me,
Ladies first.
For me, housing is provided, so I don't pay rent, which is amazing. Secondly, the cost of living is so low. Again, in China, some places it's high, but where I am, it is so low. I survive off of 2,000 young, like 2,000, like 2,000. Ukutravela, it cost me about 500 for the month because I use the metro. In metro, it's like 7. And then at work they provide us with food, so I don't pay for food as well. Uyacabanga-ke lapho ukuthi into engiyenzayo nami ukuthi yabo, I buy clothes, I go out to eat, kuphela. If ngingenzi lezo zinto, I could probably survive on less. So it's affordable.
Okay. In Korea, it's a bit expensive. It's a bit expensive in Korea. Maybe because Ngozi South Africa, guys. So don't judge. But I feel like compared to China, Korea is definitely a little bit more expensive. I think for my monthly groceries, I spend about 3,000 for a grocery a month, so that's like excluding like entertainment, buying clothes and stuff like that. But I survive. I'm able to survive. I live a comfortable life, and I'm also able to just send a good 21,000 to my South African accounts every month. So it's expensive, but kuyaphileka, and you're also able to save a good amount of money. Housing, it is provided in Lenhlala it's for free. The only thing that I do, I pay for KC and gas, which is it's less than 600, maybe 600, somewhere there. They also pay for 50% medical aid. You pay for 50% in a it's not expensive. So yeah, the housing is free.
You guys are rich. Huh?
On my side, yeah, look at them, Buddha, they are glowing.
Yeah.
Now
Okay, on my side, like
lower.
in Taiwan, they give you housing allowance as well as transport allowance. But then on top of that, I was given a scooter by a school, so I don't pay like for transport. And then my schools are just nearby. It's like 3 minutes away. So the rest of the money, yeah, I don't pay for rent. I don't pay for rent. And then if you want to live a fancy life where you want to like rent a house, that's where a problem starts. But the school, they give you like a good amount for the rent and for a good space. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Messi. Obote, how is the living in Rustenburg?
I-economy ya Ramaphosa, guys. Kuyafana. Nanoma kuthiwe kephi, it's really the same. Well, if I was in Cape Town, it was going to be a different ball game, but it's the same. It's the same. But in as much as it's the same, things are a bit more pricey this side. They are a bit more pricey this side. That's why even with hair extensions, I buy them back home in Durban, and then I asked my parents to send them to Rustenburg. Go back, but no, it's the same. It's the same.
Okay, guys. We have 2 minutes to go. Then I will restart it again for questions from the floor, or we can take one for you from on these 2 minutes. Guys, you can ask them questions that you have.
May I please ask one question?
Okay.
We've been hearing a lot of these stories online about these countries and South Africans that are, that are getting killed and whatever. Manje anisho, guys, repatriation seniyikhokheli noma, like njalo masingcwabisane. Like, I'm sorry. like, I need to know because angimele sigaza athi guys, yabo. Lumfana iy'ndlela zenu. I'm
Okay,
joking, but on a serious note, nimisa kanjani leyo?
yeah, that thing it's serious, but I got like an
Great, nice.
insurance with Avpop. So if anything happens and I'm this side, they'll be able to take my body from here back to my country and covering all the costs and everything.
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot
if you
Mina ngiphila ngegrace. Nginalutho.
Ungayenzi leyo nto, asinamali
No,
yokuletha la.
to be quite honest, I did try to get, for me, I wanted the life cover should I die, so they pay the family, then they pay whoever needs to fetch me. But then I had issues with me taking it online, so they wanted me to be in SA. So I'm still sorting it out on my side.
Nice.
but you guys can always donate. You know us, most.
Asinamali.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ngishiye. One thing I know, you guys will not leave me there. Nizolanda nonke.
Guys, I think it's gonna drop again, and then I will restart it, and then we'll get questions from the floor. I think they have many questions to you guys. Or let me
Okay.
let me end it and start it again.